Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Friday, the 27th of March 2015. This is John Faraclas from allaboutshipping.co.uk in London with the latest on the indexes, the Baltic indexes, wets and dries, and geopolitics affecting the markets. The BDI closed earlier today 2 points down at 596 points, which is on the other hand 5 points up since last week's 591 points. There is no sustainability. We're going up 2, 3, 4 and down and so forth. It's a weak market. As per our title today, it's a very weak market. The BCI, the Baltic Capes Index, closed the same like yesterday at 456, which on the other hand is 33 points up since last week's 423 points. The Panamax were down 2 points with the respective BPI index at 597, down 20 since last week, 617 points. The BSI was 2 points down at 597, which of course on the other hand was 12 points up since last week's 635 points. And finally, the same level was for the BHSI, stuck at 390, on the other hand is up 6 points since last week's 386. The wets also produced a downfall market at 811, minus 2, the Baltic Dirty Dry Index, which is also 5 points down since last week's 816 points. Equally, the BCTI was down 7 points at 671, down 17 points since last week's 688 points. So, we don't have positive figures to show. We are below the 600 barrier for a second week, third week, fourth week. It's not a nice market to be. Many will argue about overcapacity and the lot. No, it's not. We repeat, the most capable shipowners on any field, tramp or liner, are those that are going to survive. No matter what is the cargo they're after. It's who fixes whom and who gets fixed. So there you are. Geopolitics. Number 1, Ukraine. MEPs from 28 European nations managed to confirm a 1.8 billion euros assistance to a technically bankrupt Ukraine to help this country. But like many other countries, Ukraine is suffering from corruption and everything should be monitored. On the military front, again, it's early days to see a peace deal done. Both parties in this faulty line within Europe. Never forget that in geography, Europe stops in the Ural Mountains. This is Europe, from Lisbon to the Ural Mountains, okay? This is what is Europe. From the Ural Mountains to the Far East, Vladivostok and the rest is Asia. Fine, so Ukraine is in the center east of Europe, and we must make sure we do not have any upturn which will lead to a conflagration of the entire area. Already the area is indebted to many problems. Greece, another major issue, which of course, we have to sort out. Germany and Greece are locked in a war, in a presidential war of words and actions. And of course, there are more European nations involved, but we must see those two nations come down to terms. Okay? For 40 years there was a big scam. And one should not allow even 18 against 1 to think that the Greek people have to suffer and pay for the mistakes of their governments. Okay, they have voted for them, but where was the European monitoring for the allocation of funds? This is a very important issue. You can read further on the written section of this report. Other issues, the Middle East and ISIS. It's time President Obama gives an end. We have to use ground forces and let's save humans and civilization. The monuments of a civilization that ISIS is destroying, I think we're having enough of them. Yemen, that's another issue. And we are very worried in the shipping industry as Yemen stands close to one of the world's most important straits that enters to the Red Sea and then up via the Suez Canal to Med and Europe, one of the world's most important dire straits. That's important. In Nigeria, as we're talking about these areas there, in Nigeria we have presidential elections which will last until Sunday, as we understand, and it is another issue there to see peace deals and energy deals taking place. Singapore lost their leader, Lee Kuan Yew, at 9-1, the person who make and put on the chart another Singapore, a Singapore that is the envy, if we might say, for the rest of the world. Been there since this last year. It's not a miracle, it's a reality. Of course, law and order prevails. Some democratic forces wouldn't like what we're saying. Yes, it is policing, you cannot throw your chewing gums down. You know, it's not nice. You can compare Oxford Street with Singapore, you see the major differences. So this is important. You know, too much sex. Remember that nice ashtray in Soho in Carnaby Street? It was on sale in the 60s and 70s. Too much sex makes you short-sighted. Too much democracy blows you up. Okay? I'm sure you get a message. Other issues, important ones. We should never let another disaster, that's the only word I can find tonight to say, about the German Windsor Line. This is an important issue. I would like to carry on. Our condolences to the victims' families. It is, it is an appalling issue. Control, 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 discipline, and always reporting, and of course, at random checks out of the blue to verify what is going on. For the people that are willing and able to fly is one thing. What can happen if they don't have, and if they're not having their act together? We'll wait to see the final verdict. Last night, Thursday, we had a major event in London, Afrimaris, 5-year event. It was great success at Cass Business School in the heart of the Square Mile, where we had interesting talks about the energy. We have two great speakers on the Afrimari. We had Debbie Turner from SSY, one of the world's best analysts responsible for the LNG. And of course, LNG is the name of the game to come. On the other hand, we have from Talaveras, Jeffrey Hartman, who also gave an interesting presentation. And there was a great debate. This debate should not be missed. We hope, on the other hand, that Africa, with 1 billion people, as they have only half of them electricity, we need the other half of them to have electricity to improve their status. It's very important how people without electricity can have a computer, a laptop, and it is very important. We should all help Africa. It is important. Now, IMO, a bit of shipping issues again. IMO, we're having soon the election of the new Secretary General, and we are just back from a great event at the Cyprus High Commission, where Marios Dimitriadis, the Greek Minister for Communication and Works, introduced Cyprus's candidacy, and that is Andreas Christomou. We all know Andreas Christomou, and he is now in the arena to fight to be elected as Secretary General. Earlier on, it was announced officially, and for the first time, that Russia, on the other hand, have Vitaly Kulyev to run for the first time. Russia puts a candidacy on. And of course, we have Denmark with Andreas Nordstedt, who will also be there. He's the third one, as we know. We hope to see more candidacies. Whatever happens, is going to be a very interesting last-minute game, as we see it. And finally, we'd like to say that the 9th Capital Link event in London, in York, was a great event. And I'm sure that you heard also the good news from Intermodal in Shanghai. Again, very interesting news that has happened. And Bruce of Ecclesia presentation of the works of the Institute of Chartership Brokers on Thursday, earlier on yesterday at lunchtime, was a great event for the IMIF people. So as we speak now in Athens, we have 2 hours differences, is the high moment of Vista Elassa annual dinner and dance. We wish the Greek ladies and all their supporters all their very best. With this, we wish you a very good night and a nice weekend. Be on guard. This is John Faraclas from allaboutshipping.co.uk in London. Over and out.